And I was telling my student the other day, I have a student that I'm working with, and I said, I want you to close your eyes, and I'm going to give you a word. At. At. In your mind, I want you to pull it together and say it in your mind, and then you tell me. He said, Matt. Very good. Let's do another one. I'm going to take it apart. I want you to pull it together in your mind, and then I want you to tell me what it is. At. What is the word? He said hat. Let me give you another one. At. What is the word? Rat. Very good. All right, so it's that mental, that it has to be inside that they're doing it, that metacognitive awareness, thinking about my thinking. And if they can think about their thinking, if they can recognize the patterns in their mind, and if they have flexible thinking, then they're going, when they're reading the story that I've just shared with you, they're reading the story, and when they see that word, they're doing it inside, they're consciously aware. So that whole thing about the brain is that they're consciously aware. Look at Rex. He has, and if he stumbles on this, he just stares, he's just staring at it. So in your mind, say the first sound that you hear. That letter has a sound. Say it inside your head. Are you saying it? And I can tell if they're saying it. So if I say, I'm going to do it in my head. Did you see me do it? Hat. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do at.
Thank you for checking out this video. Are you getting enough value from it? You see, this video was created for the purpose of adding value to you. So if this video make any sense to you, let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested in understanding what you take away from this video and if it makes sense to you, so we can provide more. But let's return to the video.
I think I talked a little bit about it earlier, that the brain is not meant for reading. We learned this about 50 years ago, but it's just now getting into classrooms where we are able to assess it. The brain was not meant for reading. The brain is not a reading brain. And so that's why many of our children, we call it a fight or flight when you're trying to teach them reading, because it's something that's not there, but we can. So that's why I had my bunny ears on, because we're showing them that they have to be thinking. And it's something that some kids, they fight against that, because we're intruding in an area that they've not had anyone to move into before. So yes, it is about the brain. All of the strategies that I chatted with you earlier about are brain-based strategies. You've got to be hearing. You've got to hear it, not just see it, but you've got to hear it. And I wanted to tell you one other thing that's very, very hard for kids when they're trying to, the heart of reading is segmenting, pulling apart words and bringing them back together. We can see the word, but if we don't understand the cognitive process of it, then we can't take the word apart and put it back together. So one of the cognitive challenges of decoding is decentration. And decentration is a cognitive process described by Piaget. And he says that there has to be flexible thinking. We have to recognize the patterns in your mind. And I was telling my student the other day, I have a student that I'm working with, and I said, I want you to close your eyes, and I'm going to give you a word. At. At. In your mind, I want you to pull it together and say it in your mind, and then you tell me. He said, Matt. Very good. Let's do another one. I'm going to take it apart. I want you to pull it together in your mind, and then I want you to tell me what it is. At. What is the word? He said hat. Let me give you another one. At. What is the word? Rat. Very good. All right. So it's that mental, that it has to be inside that they're doing it, that metacognitive awareness, thinking about my thinking. And if they can think about their thinking, if they can recognize the patterns in their mind, and if they have flexible thinking, then they're going, when they're reading the story that I've just shared with you, they're reading the story. And when they see that word, they're doing it inside. They're consciously aware. So that whole thing about the brain is that they're consciously aware. Look at Rex. He has, and if he stumbles on this, he just stares, he's just staring at it. Say in your mind, say the first sound that you hear. That letter has a sound. Say it inside your head. Are you saying it? And I can tell if they're saying it. So if I say, I'm going to do it in my head. Did you see me do it? Hat. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do at. The word is mat. So when they do that, then you know they're really consciously aware. But if they're doing like this, then I understand. I go back to my cognitive sheet that they're not systematically searching. So they have no idea what they're doing. So that means that I have a lot of work to do with them. And then integration of context. And that's when I pull out the book for them to read. And then transferring of skills. So they should be able to transfer these skills in not only reading, but in math and science and social studies. So that's decentration, is being able to hold those sounds in their heads and manipulate it in their brains and then say it. The outcome is to say the word.
Thank you so much for that. I would like you to talk more about the fact that the brain is not meant for reading. I would like to learn more about that. What do you mean by that, actually? You also, I think, cited a kind of a research or something like that. I think we would like to learn more about that.
Well, it is. I've got an article here. It's called the Super Kids Reading Program, but it's called the building the reading brain. But it says here, major advances in our understanding of effective reading instruction has happened during the past decade, as studies from the field of neuroscience have accelerated. Significant evidence has mounted, underscoring the importance of reading basics for all children. Research-based reading programs that emphasize phonological awareness, phonics, the rules of spelling and writing, as well as comprehension, have not only been shown to be critical for all early readers, but have been found to normalize brain functioning for struggling readers. I'll just stop right there. But it shows how in the brain there are sections where reading can be taught, and that is the phonological assembly, that is the phonological processor where you're processing sounds, the phonological assembly where you connect letters to sounds, and the orthographic processor is where you store information for automatic word recognition. So these are the three areas, these are regions of the brain associated with reading. So just think, if a child is having difficulty with reading or decoding words, that means that these three areas of the brain have not been taught. So we know that the brain was taught for speaking. That's it. We just do that naturally. We don't even have to be taught. Like I said earlier, a kindergarten, let's say a 4-year-old, 2-year-old, 1-year-old, if a parent is repeating words over and over, all of a sudden they'll say, Mom, Mama. And mom goes, oh, he said Mama. Or dad says, ha, ha, ha. And dad gets excited. He said Papa. He's not really saying that, but he's hearing it so many times that he picks up the speech patterns of his family. But when you're talking about these big 5 of literacy, you've got to teach what the brain needs in order for them to read. And that's the complexity of reading. And I could go on and on and on with that, but it'll take us a lot of time to go through all the stages of what the brain is looking for. But that's what I do when I go into schools, is to train teachers these stages, the regions of the brain in which they need to be teaching. I also go back and show them what a fluent reader's brain looks like and what a reader's brain looks like. And so that's why parents, I need to show you this stuff. I think this is important because when kids, a pre-reader, they need that phonological processing that when I put the bunny ears on and we were listening to sounds, they need to hear the sound. So that's what a pre-reader's brain looks like. And then for a fluent reader, we've built all these areas that I just talked about, the phonological processor, the phonological assembly, and the orthographic processing. That's what a fluent reader's brain looks like. So when we test the kids on phonological awareness and they're right here, then we know that in order for them to be fluent, we've got to move them here. And that's why.
Hi, and thank you for checking out this short clip from Obehi Podcast. I'm Obehi Ewafo, the host of the Obehi Podcast. This short clip was created from a full episode where we dive deep into this conversation. To see the entire video, all you need to do is to click on the link in the description of this video. Now, while you are there, I want to share something with you quickly. Are you a purpose-driven entrepreneur? Do you want to cut across the noise and attract the right audience, leveraging the power of storytelling? Now, pay attention. I'm currently working on a signature program to help you own your story and stand out for the competition. It's a 5-step journey to help reshape your professional and business narrative so you can drive success and stand out in the competition. And in less than 90 days. The link is what you see on your screen, academy.aclasses.org/story. Now, this is what we have understood. Storytelling is the most powerful instrument that is known to man. And this is what this could mean to you. You could either choose to own your story and leverage it to amplify your message and whatever you represent in this world, or some other person could own that story. The choice is yours. So why don't take advantage of your story and use it wherever you are, whether you are in business environment or you are a professional individual who want to be able to build your influence and leave a legacy behind because you represent something. You are owning your story. You are somebody whose story is important. So the choice again is yours. Now let's get started with this short clip.